Hello everyone. Wait a minute. Something missing here. Oh, right. Let me get this straight. Okay, this is much better, but let me add some grading, maybe like this.
Well.
Okay,
Well,
okay,
well.
this is better, I think. Right. Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast. And today it's just me talking about something I've been obsessed lately. It is old movies. I mean, a film from around the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, maybe. Even though we're living in a world of full of modern cinema, instant CGI, IMAX, and streaming platform that with thousands of new release, but there's still something special about old movies that hits different for me, right? But before we start, let me put out a quick disclaimer because I really need to say this. Okay, this episode is going to be about something that's honestly not that important. Not that important at all. Like, it's nothing deep, nothing inspirational, not about school life, not about productivity, not about financial planning or how to become the best version of yourself, whatever. No, it's not. To be honest, I'm not good at those topics. I'm terrible at giving motivational advice. I am not a financial expert. I am not a study tips expert, maybe. And honestly, I am definitely not a good speaker. So yeah, this topic has absolutely nothing to do with school life or academic pressure, right? This episode is simply about something I enjoy recently, something light and maybe useless for some people, I think. But yeah, that's exactly why I choose it, because sometimes we don't need an heavy topics. Sometimes we just want to talk about things we generally love. So if you came here expecting wisdom or life-changing knowledge, life-changing motivation, I'm sorry, you picked the wrong podcast, mate. But if you're here to relax, listen, and maybe relate with these topics, right? Welcome, and let's talk about some movies. Lately, I've spent most of my nights rewatching classic movies, sometimes even more than once. And at this point, I've honestly lost count of how many times I've rewatched some of them. So today, I want to explore one question: is what makes old movies stay timeless, favorite for so many viewers today, even with endless modern choice available? Here's the reasons. Alright, the first reason is nostalgia. One of the biggest reasons old movies remain beloved is nostalgia. They bring a certain emotional comfort, like returning to a familiar place, maybe someone you love, or a memory you feel safe with. It's the feeling you get when you rewatch, let's say, The Breakfast Club, and suddenly you're reminded of what is felt like to be a teenager trying to figure out who you are. Or when you watch Back to the Future, that's one of my favorite actually. And for moments, life feels kind of fun and a little bit adventurous and full of ridiculous possibilities. That's because old movies have the ability to bring us back to a version of ourselves that maybe we miss. The second reason is strong storytelling and powerful characters. Unlike many modern films that rely heavily on spectacle, visual effects, and loud action sequence, older movies often focus more on substance like storytelling, character depth, dialogue, pacing, and maybe emotional intensity, right? Let's take 12 Angry Men for example. It takes place basically in one single room with 12 men talking, no explosion, no dramatic effects, yet the tension, the conflict, the argument about justice, it's gripping, right? You don't even realize you have been sitting for 2 hours because that pure storytelling. Or the Shawshank Redemption, a slow burn narrative about hope, resilience, and human connection. It doesn't need flashy editing, it stays with you because of its message and emotional power. And we can take a Pulp Fiction for example again, because the dialogue alone is very iconic and the structure is bold and the character is very unforgettable. Alright, the third reason is timeless themes and that still matter today. Old movies survive because they deal with themes that never die, like identity, freedom, love, morality, rebellion, injustice, friendship, and survival. Fight Club explore masculinity, identity, and mental struggle, the topics that actually feel even more relevant right now. And then we got Malcolm X speaks about racial injustice, inequality, vice, and power, like things society continues to wrestle with today. And there, Goodfellas and The Godfather show very loyalty, ambition, crime, family, and the consequence of power. And they're not just movies, they're reflection of real human conflict. And stories like that, I think, don't age. And the world changes, but our emotional score stays on the same. The fourth reason is unique aesthetic and filmmaking craft. There's something visually magical about older movies, like the color grading, lighting, and camera angles, practical effects, the grainy texture, the slower pacing that lets scene breathe. Let's take Blade Runner for examples. The world buildings, neon atmosphere, and noir tones still look more artistic than most modern sci-fi film full of CGI, I think. Or the stunning practical wars, cinematography in Full Metal Jacket, which is still feels raw and merciless. Or even the creative comic book style in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that one of my favorite visual effects, and which is technically not super old, but it has become iconic for its experimental visual. Because there's a soul in other films that you don't always feel in modern production. Okay, the fifth reason is lesson about real life. Yeah, some old movies feels like they're talking directly to you. Movies like Stand By Me remind us about friendship and growing up. And then 10 Things I Hate About You reflects high school identity and heartbreak in a imperfect way. And we got 500 Days of Summer teach us that love is not fairy tale and that's okay. And the last one we got When Harry Met Sally. It is explore connection, timing, and emotional honesty. And these films stick with you not just because they're entertaining but because they say something real, right? So why do old movies still matter today? Because they remind us that storytelling doesn't need to be loud, doesn't need to be powerful, because real emotion doesn't expire, because human struggle, love, pain, hope, anger, confusion, those things don't have an expire date. And old movies help us to slow down, think, feel, and connect, right? They remind us what cinema is really about, and that's why even in 2025, we keep going back to them. We rewatch them, we treasure them, and they're not old, right? They're timeless. Alright, thank you so much for listening this episode of my podcast. If you're someone who love rewatching old movies, I get you. And if you never try it, maybe now is the time. I don't know. You might discover a story that will stay with you forever. And see you in the next episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,